So hi, so sorry again, I was just sharing it out there. So again, welcome back to the feature interview series. I'm Lisa Khera from Imbalance Pilates, and I'm the host of the interview series. And I'm so happy that you could join me today. I wanted to introduce you to my guest, Donna. Take it away.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here with you today.
Thank you so much for coming on. I'm so excited to introduce you to some of my friends and community. So you're an author and a coach, and I'm so excited. Actually, I've got both of your books. I'm going to let you take it away, but I just want to show I've got both of your books here, both Women Who Ignite and Women Who Rise. So congratulations. You guys just had a very big launch day a few weeks ago. So congrats. And yes, introduce yourself.
Sure. As Lisa said, I was an author in Women Who Ignite. So that came about after meeting the publisher, Kate Butler. So my story is that I'm a mom of three amazing kids who are now 25, 23, and 19. And several years ago, as they were becoming more independent, I was sitting in the space of what's next for me after being a mom. So I was a stay-at-home mom with them. I loved every minute of it, but wondered what was next for me. And I had no career to return to. And I was in a space of, my self-esteem was low, my self-worth was low. And most of that stemmed from my leaving college before graduating. And I attached the meaning to that I wasn't smart. And that really kept me playing small. And in August of 2014, we were on a family vacation. We were in the coast of Massachusetts, and the conditions were perfect. Everything had to be in alignment, the winds, the high tide, the temperature. And it happened to be the day that we were there. And it was safe enough for everyone to cliff jump. And so my entire family was cliff jumping, extended family, cousins, brother-in-law, they were all jumping off this cliff. And I was on the other side taking their picture and was excited to do that. And my daughter kept saying, Mom, come jump, come jump. And I said, no, I don't think so. I'm gonna stay right here, I'm fine. And 2 hours later, 10 times later, she said, Mom, you've got to do this. And I couldn't believe that I actually said yes. And I left my lounge chair and walked around the rock ledge to the other side and stood on the edge of the cliff with my toes hanging over the edge and thought, oh my gosh, I need to turn around. I can't do this. I can't do this. Scared to death. And what had brought me to that point after saying no for so long was realize that if I left there, I would have regretted it. And I already had so many regrets in my life. And I didn't want one more. And so that brought me to that point of standing on the edge of the cliff. And in that moment, as I was considering walking away, I thought, I can stay where I am, or I can take this leap into my future. And I decided on me, and I chose my future. And I jumped, I was scared to death. And I came up out of the water, fist in the air, and screamed, I did it. And it was the most exhilarating experience I've ever had. And it gave me the confidence to say yes to so many more things, say yes to new opportunities. So 2 weeks after that jump, I had pre-planned to go to a one day where I was going to meet Kate Butler. Friends of mine had been working with her, and she
Were they authors that had published books, or?
No, none of them were. This was before her publishing business began.
Okay.
And or she had been working on her children's book at that time. And these were women, we were all in the same direct sales company together. And I was seeing their success, and I thought, I want that as well. And so I went to this one day to meet her. I had a few moments there and realized that she could support me in my journey. And ostensibly, I was working with her to build my network marketing business, but what came out of that was my passion for creativity. I had already been making jewelry and accessories with wires and Swarovski crystals, and so we focused on that, and that began to grow. And a year later, we were all in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for a weekend retreat and doing a Q&A, and we had to, it was all this real inner work and digging through and figuring out what was holding us back. And we, on Saturday night of the retreat, were to release our limiting belief. And mine was, I am not smart. And we went to the beach, I burned it, put it in the sand, watched it go up in smoke. The next morning we were having a Q&A on crystals. Kate was holding a giant rose quartz crystal. It was the size of both of her hands together. And my friend who had brought me into this group said, oh my gosh, you should wire wrap crystals. I went, oh my gosh, yes, I should. And she booked me in a show 2 weeks later.
Best kind of friends.
Yes. So I drove home from Myrtle Beach. I went to the nearest crystal shop and said, apparently I have a crystal business and I have a show and now it's 10 days away. Can you help me? And she handed me a bowl and she said, fill it up with the crystals that you like the best. Or fill it up with crystals that you, whatever, I don't remember the exact words, but I filled up the crystals and they were all blue. And she said, those are pretty, now let's fill out with some other colors. What I didn't know then was that each of the crystals have properties that align to our different chakras, and the blue crystals are aligned with the throat chakra. I needed those blue stones for me to find my voice, for me to be able to speak. And so I went, and in my mind, because of the way it came about, I had the belief that everybody wanted wire wrap crystals, which I did sell many, but many just want them for loose stones for the properties they have.
Okay.
And so from that event, I was booked in several events. One just kept leading to another. And it was a few months later when I was seeing a pattern where people would pick up a stone and say, well, what does this one mean? And I would look up the properties and they would say, oh, right, that's the exact one I need. That's what I need. And when it happened over and over again, I'm still learning all of this. I realized that we are drawn energetically to the stones we need before we know intellectually. So I was drawn to those blue stones energetically because I needed them for me. And it is, and I used to help my clients select crystals in a very different way. They would say, oh, I need stones for confidence, or I would need stones for sleeping, or whatever it may be. And I would do all this research and make a list of all the stones and with their properties and send them this PDF with the pictures of the stones and ask them, which ones are you drawn to? And it was a very long process and took several days. Now I've developed a way to choose crystals just by using my pendulum. Energetically, I could say which crystal is right for Lisa. And I would hover it over all my crystals until it started to swing. And I knew that that was the crystal for you. And when I first started it, I wasn't sure how it was going to work, but it is my foolproof method now.
And so do you do a lot of those sessions online or do you do the work?
Sometimes it's just a text. Oh, I need a crystal. Can you pick one for me? Sometimes it's as part of one of my other services,
okay.
As part of Reiki or Chakra Balancing or my coaching, whichever. And they'll ask for crystals and I'll say, I'll tell you what my pendulum finds. And it's always spot on, always.
And I remember I had the pleasure of experiencing that. I had been a guest on a talk show. And obviously being on TV, right? There's the speaking your voice, that kind of thing. So I had reached out to you, same thing. Okay, I'm going on this show. These are the things, this is how I want it to turn out. So how can I best, support myself with crystals? And it just, having something in your toolkit to just feel like you're armed, you've got that extra layer of whatever it is, confidence, strength, healing, and the way you communicate it and explain and know your stuff, you just have that heightened inner peace because you have that confidence that, okay, I'm armed with this thing. So, and which is what you need to get from the person that's teaching it to you so that you can feel, okay, I've got a base here. I've got a plan. That's fantastic. So then when you realized that Women Who Ignite was a possibility, was that an easy decision to say yes to? Was it something that as soon as you saw that that book was, you know, a possibility, you knew right away, or how did that work out? Because that's a big jump.
That was a huge jump. So I had been, that was 2014, 2015 is the Myrtle Beach. September of 2015 was the Myrtle Beach retreat. So I had been working with crystals, and it was that early. I had gone to several events of Kate's, and she introduced the book, I want to say in February of 2016. And we were at, it was a big group, one-day retreat, and she talked about it, and I thought, no, I have nothing to say. Nope, that's not for me. No. And at the time, she had also started her coaching certification, and one of, she was actually the host, my friend who was the host of the day that I met Kate and was also hosting the Myrtle Beach retreat, was telling me she was working with, say it again?
Who is that?
Christy Vashore.
Okay.
And she was telling me that she was working with Kate to become a coach. And I thought, that sounds really interesting. So I called Kate. We set up a time to talk. And I said, I'm considering your coaching certification. And our phone call was probably 2 hours. We talked about that. And she said, okay, and you should be part of the book. I'm like, Kate, I don't have anything to say. She's really, Donna? Really? I mean, turns out I have a lot to say, and I keep saying. So I ended up being a part of that. But while I was doing the coaching certification, I was writing my chapter. I was in a course where I learned about the chakras and got my Reiki certification. And I was in a crystal healer course. All of these courses were concurrent.
Okay. Oh, wow. What a year of growth and healing and learning and change.
It was unbelievable. And the thing that I resisted the most was the book, because there's so much fear. I spent so long hiding my truths, hiding who I was. I was embarrassed by it. I was, there was shame, and I didn't want to share it. And there was such a release of putting it on paper and having other people read it. There was still a lot of anxiety around that, but once I released it, once my chapter, so I go to my high school reunion in August of 2016, walk in early, because for the first time I felt proud. I felt success. I felt proud of where I was. And I walk in, I see two of my guy friends, and, oh, what's going on? I'm like, well, I'm about to become a published author. Really? What'd you write about? My story. What does that mean? Well, it's how I got from where I was to where I am now. Okay, what does that mean, Donna? I said, well, how I had to give up this belief that I wasn't smart because I didn't graduate college. And I looked at them and they were like, what? Wait, you think you're not smart? I said, yes, Donna, you were one of the smartest people we knew in high school. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been holding on to that for this 30 years. 30 years I held on to that. And it impacted me in a huge way. Once I released that, though, this whole new world opened up for me. It's like, oh my gosh, yes, I can do that. Yes, I can do that. I had the confidence and the courage to say yes to everything. That's why I had all of those programs concurrently happening in my life, because I was open to the change, to the new experiences. And once I got published and started to share my story, my intention was from the beginning, if I could impact one person, if my story can help one person, then what I'm feeling is worth it. I got an email 2 weeks after the book came out that said, I read your chapter. I was looking for a sign. And when I saw that you lived in Baltimore, I knew I needed to talk to you about being my coach. And I read that and just melted. It was relief. It was gratitude. It was just overwhelmed that, okay, I can make a difference. And that was still one of the most powerful events that has happened since I've been on this journey.
I bet, to hear it said back to you and to be able to clear out, old beliefs that you had about yourself. And sometimes we don't realize how much those things really do weigh us down. And to be able to be in the presence of someone that, like Kate Butler, that is such a internal you know, knows how to cheer for other people and really helps them see all of the potential. I bet every person that has been in one of her book series, just it, right, right off the bat, there's that magnetism too, that she can help us get the story out, and yeah, and look at certain areas of our life that maybe we didn't even realize were impacting things so much, but just having, you know, different eyes on things can really help change your perspective, and the whole looking on the bright side of things and turning things into more positive. Now, when you did the second book, were you, from going through the experience the first time and knowing that there's certain feelings that might come up about vulnerability, did you find doing it a second time with Women Who Rise, was any of that easier?
Easier in the sense that I knew the process, easier in the sense that I knew, even though again, I'm sharing more of myself, there was some feelings around that,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew that I had the ability to help some. I knew that people would benefit from my story. And so I'm considered a legacy author. And so I was in this group with many first-time authors. So it became, in some cases, you know, I was the experienced person and felt like I could guide some of the other authors who were for the first time feeling that same feelings that I had felt the first time.
Yeah, what
And
a great mentor that would be to have. Yes, definitely, just going through, there's so many things with the marketing of the book, and yeah, actually getting down to writing the chapter. And so yeah, that would have been a great feeling and a great way to help for sure.
yeah, and the marketing is very different now than it was when we did it, because at the time she thought it was only going to be a one-off book. But
Right.
there were so many women who wanted to share their story. She's now looking for authors for the seventh book. And so
It's so
it,
isn't that so exciting when you think back to Philadelphia and being in that room with everyone in a circle, locking arms, when you think of the power of just how powerful that is to lock arms with other people and co-create and community and collaborate, and it's like priceless. It's a feeling that you can't beat, right? And then aside from just, you know, mastermind type opportunities and further coaching, and it's quite a little jackpot we stumbled upon.
it is such a gift in my life. Just the community you talked about at the beginning, the community of women who are involved in these books. It has been life-changing for me. I have such deep friendships with many of them, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this. I mean, it's a tribe of women who support each other no matter what their background is or where they're from. It's international now. So, I mean, Canada, but we had authors in this book from the Netherlands, from Mexico, just so many different parts of the world sharing their story. And it's just an incredible experience to be a part of.
It is, and it's so fun on launch day when, you know, the authors are coming on live, and just to get a chance to meet more of you and that kind of thing. It's really, it's just an honor to get involved with everyone and all that. So yeah, big time. I know for myself, when I agree. Well, actually, I had seen, Kate and I had been friends, and it was your book, Women Who Ignite. It had come out September 2016, right? So yeah, it was a month later that I had like a split-second life-changing accident that then led me to end up closing my brick and mortar studio. So when I came upon realizing that it was an opportunity to fill out an application and try to get an interview and all that kind of stuff, because that's how I got involved with it. For me, it was such a life-changing. I knew that one door was about to close because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to keep my brick and mortar Pilates studio open. So having a new like career path with becoming an author, and then, as I said, just with meeting, you know, the community of our authors and that kind of thing, it was definitely like sanity saving, life saving. Because when you know, for myself, my studio had been my first baby. I had at that time had it for 11 years. So knowing that I was going to be embarking on downsizing it, the book series was such a blessing, you know, aside from meeting everyone and just some of the additional courses that Kate had put out with a course in, or Pathway to Miracles, sorry, excuse me, and different things. It's really just been such great tools to carry us through with other like marketing endeavors and things like that. So yeah, it's interesting how we all just came into the series, and just further like collaborations and things that have come out of it after. So for yourself, I know that, you know, we were talking about you doing your distance sessions where people can get more of their chakra balancing tools from you and have a session that way. And what else do you have going on? What's coming up? What are some of the
So
options?
other than the distance chakra and Reiki, which if for anyone who has never heard of doing modalities at a distance, it was something that was new to me when I learned Reiki.
Mm-hmm.
My Reiki master said, when you get to level 2, level 1, you do Reiki on yourself, and level 2, you can do it on others and send it long distance. I thought, how in the heck does that work? And the first time I tried it, sending it to someone, I didn't tell them where I was visualizing on their body. And they said, oh my gosh, how did you know I needed it in my hip? I'm like, well, the Reiki goes where it's needed. It clears any energy blockages. So it's just so exciting to know that I can support people from a distance. But other than doing those, I'm doing my coaching. And I created a 3-part video series on finding joy, because it took me a long time to find mine. And so I've created this to be able to guide others through the process. And there's a Facebook group, so there's community building there, and just sharing my message. I'm so grateful to you for allowing me this opportunity to share my story and my message. And just, you know, we all deserve to find what our purpose is and our passion. And for those who haven't figured that out yet, I love guiding people through that process and helping them find their joy. Because until we get there, it just sometimes feels like we're just going through the motions. And, you know, we only get one shot. So it's really a passion of mine to make sure that we do it at our highest level.
Well, I can tell that it is a passion of yours, and that's why I wanted to have you on today. And I find, you know, so many people are interested in Reiki, whether it's, you know, because of chronic pain issues or any of the old attachment things, and, you know, cord cutting type. Do you suggest a lot of those type of meditations for people? Like, when it comes to cord cutting, is that something that you're working with the person and you realize they may have issue or something that they're holding on to, and then that's might be something that you would guide them to listening to a meditation like that? Or
So when I do a chakra balancing on someone, or I give Reiki to someone, I can sense where in their body there are blocks. So I personally have daily rituals that I do that help me to protect my energy, because my energy is my most important commodity that I have. And then at the end of the day, I do cut cords. So I have a ritual that I do that I share with my clients, because it's so important to protect our energy. It's so important to operate on a high vibration. It's so important to show up as our best self and bring light and love wherever we go. And so I share all of those tools and techniques that I have collected from different mentors and other practitioners that I've combined that help me to stay at my highest vibration so that I can serve others.
Okay. 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 Wow. And I mean, especially now, like, I mean, we all need to be focused on things that get us into the present moment, whether it's meditation, you know, guided meditation, journaling, being able to use things like crystals and things like that. For myself, I'm big into like doing breathing exercises. I've taught Pilates for 20 years. So being really focused on, you know, things that help with posture and breathing. And as we were saying before, especially right now, just with, you know, things are different where everyone is in the world right now. I'm in Canada. We're still, my husband's working from home. We're all at home. The school year was, the school was closed for the year. Everyone's at home. So we're balancing, suddenly pretending to be teachers at home, and just, you know, doing all the things all the time. So especially right now, like going to those tools where we have to get more into being aware, you know, do we need more centering? Do we need more grounding? Do we need more uplifting energy? Like what is it that we need? And then if we are having to go out and do any errands, we're facing much more fear in other people that we're encountering right now. So as you said, yes, being able to really like put those boundaries around our own energy, because depending on, you know, the state of the world and just the heaviness of the energy at times, it's especially now more than ever, you know, being really mindful of how can we get control over that. And so any tips for people that are at home right now, especially during this time? Do you just have more things opening now back where you are?
I think we're about to start in phase 2.
Okay.
There are things.
You have hairdressers open yet? Salons open yet?
Oh my gosh. So
my hair is 20,000 different colors right now, but
well, I'm trying to figure out if I can rock my gray, and my family said,
I've decided I can't. My hair is like white. Like I've had gray since my 20s and I'm not ready yet. I love people that can do it. I'm all for it. But so you don't have stuff like not open yet.
It has opened. I couldn't get an appointment. I have in a few more weeks. So hope there's.
Okay, but that phase is okay, because that says a little about okay.
So there is some, but we still are wearing masks and just taking caution. But it is a challenging time for everybody. And so, you know, you asked, what do I recommend? I mean, I think it's so important to stay grounded and centered. For me, it's meditation. For me, it's being in nature. When I feel out of sorts, I just go outside. You know, we're very lucky. We have a beautiful backyard with flowers and the clouds and the trees. I just spend time in nature, taking walks, getting exercise. But meditation is huge, and gratitude. Mm-hmm. Find your gratitude every day. And some people recommend in the morning or night. I think if you are in the practice of listing your gratitudes at night before you go to bed, then subconsciously all day, you will be thinking of things to be grateful for. And it will push your focus there instead of what's going on, what's not working, you know, what's wrong, all of those things. If you find the positive in everything, you know, it's abundance versus the lack mentality. Find abundance wherever you can and just stay connected to the people you love.
That's very good advice. With the gratitude, last year I was doing it more at night. I was waiting till the end of the day and doing it at night. And then I've just started a new program with one of my mentors. And so I switched it up to, I do my 10 gratitudes in the morning. So I do it based on Donna Delgado's I Choose Joy. So there's 10 gratitudes, 3 goals, and write down something you learned from your personal development that you're doing every day, which I've been in the habit. I found that concussion really trained me to everyday personal development, listen to something that could get my mind focused on the positive and not what I lost, but what I could focus my thoughts on. And so the morning is all about gratitudes, goals. And then now at the end of the day, I'll try to write down 3 wins from the day. So at least I'm still, morning is all about what I'm looking forward to and what I'm thankful for. End of the day is what are some wins from the day or family wins or whatever. So, but yeah, pen to paper, visualization, you know, we hear it time and time again, how crucial it is for, and even with my kids at home, you know, on and on, I'll say, okay, everyone, like take some time. We're sitting at yesterday, I said, visualize, because we all want to go to my dad's and the beach. We've spent the last 2 summers there. So we're all just like, when can we go see all the grandparents? And so every day I'm like, okay, guys, just sit outside here, visualize, think about the beach, think about the sandbanks. What does it feel like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? Visualize it, because we are going there soon, you know, but it's so important. And being able to too, you know, when you have little ones around, being able to plant those seeds where you can. You know, I already have my kids into the writing down something that they're grateful for, and being able to plant those seeds where you can, whether it's, you know, a bit of journaling, a bit of, I've already said to you about my kids are definitely, they're no strangers to crystals and some of our outings, not now since everything is closed, but before, you know, on the weekend would be to go to a crystal store and get something. My 8-year-old would be, what's something to make me smart, you know, but it's just,
Oh, I
again,
love that.
it's very adorable. Even he had a video call recently and he didn't want to go on and he was getting a little bit stressed. And I said, here, just hold this. Here you go. Hold that. Like, okay. But yeah, any tools that we can teach them, it's so crucial. And things that, you know, as you were saying, you know, it took you a long time to find that inner joy. And so to be able to, you know, these things that we learn as adults, so sometimes we've taken some time to struggle or seen some challenges come through, to be able to get a hold of those and be okay, you know, what can I teach to my children at an earlier age so that they're not having to wait till they're, you know, later to be hitting those life lessons, right? Yeah, so to be able to share with them in any way we can, and that. So how was it being getting to bestseller for another time, and doing all the things with book launch?
It's such an exciting experience. It is all day long. I mean, we had a pre-launch meeting in the morning, and, you know, we set our intention for the day. We set
And wouldn't you say, you know, I don't know in your circle, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I know a lot of different people that have written in different, co-authored in different series. And I always found, like, you know, I'll never forget launch day, and exactly going into that kickoff call in that day with knowing that your publisher is supporting you in this. We're all going to set the intention. We're all going to take the time to visualize. Like, I'm quite sure that not all people have the luxury of having that type of publisher that is also, you know, has your back in that way. So that was, what a gift as well, to be able to have that type of direction and guidance and coaching, right, from Kate in that way.
she's she's an amazing woman. She's thoughtful and intentional and just a beautiful spirit. And she just wants all of us to feel this the success, I'm not sure what the right word is here, but she just wants all of us to feel that we are part of something bigger, that our story has meaning, that we have meaning, that we can make a difference, that our voices are so needed in this time. And there was some talk about, should we push the launch back, because it was right in the middle of quarantine. And the decision was, we all felt like it was so, everyone needed inspiration. And so these books are so inspirational. All these women share their hearts. And it was definitely the right decision. So
Definitely, definitely. And I mean, it's one thing to share the story that day, and you know, the story is one part of it, but exactly then it just blossoms into so many other amazing things that exactly I'm so glad you guys had it out for the big day, because it's been amazing to read your chapter a second time, a second chapter, and I hope that we'll be able to all see each other soon at an in-person live event. Um, I think one was planned coming up for the summer, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, what a gift to be able to see everyone and all that. We're all going to be super excited to hug each other in person. And yep, yep, yep. So people can definitely go to your website to get more information. Do they book with you through your website or email?
well, they can email me through there. I actually have to set that up. I just had a tutorial on how to set that up. Um,
All the tech things, right? There's so many
all the
things
technical.
to stay on
Yes,
top of.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
as
yes,
I was
yes.
going through my list before, I remember this, and this for myself. Yeah, all the techie things.
But you can go to my website. All my services are listed there. On Instagram and my Facebook page, and I think we're gonna put the links in this post, correct? So,
Definitely.
um, you know, I post inspirational things. I post about crystals. So either Instagram and Facebook, you can find me there.
Those are your
Um,
main platforms.
those are my main platforms,
Okay.
exactly. And for anybody who's interested in learning what Reiki is and how to use it, I'm actually hosting an information session this coming Thursday. I think it's Thursday. I'll put it in the, but I think it's Thursday at 4. I'm not going to say because I don't want to mess it up. But I'll post the flyer and the form where you register, and then I can send you the link. So if anybody wants to join me there, that would be great. Um, and you know, the books are amazing. I actually got personalized covers. So
Oh, that's
I
gorgeous.
know,
Love
women who
it.
ignite.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
So those are on my website also. You can get those right from Amazon, which is amazing.
Okay, right from me. Okay, okay. Oh, that's amazing. Well, I'm glad that you let us know about the session that's coming up. That's definitely something that we'll check out. And you can, I was going to say for people, we were talking earlier about gratitude and goals, and I do have on my website, if you go to imbalancepilates.ca, on my website, I have a free training all about gratitude, goals, Pilates, and posture. So there's a video training in PDF. You can head over to my website and grab that there. And then I also have a new program, Breathe into Calm. So there's partly do-it-yourself video training in PDF, and then some group coaching that goes along with it as well. So depending on where people are at and what they're looking for, but definitely, you know, looking to use breath and breathing to calm and ground ourselves, using tools like adding Reiki and crystals, and anything that you know, gravitate towards that just helps you feel more calm and more balanced, more grounded, more centered. Looking for ways to add energy and calm down our energy depending on what's going on. It was such a pleasure we got to meet each other 2 times in person in Philadelphia at the Union League, and then, which was absolutely amazing, and then at the Visible event. So amazing. So I'm really excited to see you again in person. I know that's going to come soon, and we just have to continue to visualize it, make it all set in stone, right? Things will be opening, all that. But I just wanted to thank you so much again for being on the feature interview series. It's been a pleasure to have you on today, and I know people will love to connect with you and get all of I've got some of my crystals here today and around, and then with your just even learning about the pendulum and doing things with that. I know some people are a lot interested in like learning ways to just to use these tools for their self, right? To live their best life and that kind of thing. So I just wanted to thank you again for coming on. Remember to go to Donna's website and check out some of her offerings. And if you would like to be on as a guest on the feature interview series, definitely send me a message, and that I'm happy to host people on the show. So thank you again so very much. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for spending your afternoon. It's been amazing to see you again, and I'm really looking forward to your session on Thursday. I want to learn Reiki.
It's Wednesday the 10th at 4 o'clock. So
Wednesday the 10th at 4 p.m. Eastern?
Yeah, Eastern time, yes.
Eastern, okay, amazing.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much, Donna. Thank you so very much for coming on.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. It was wonderful spending this hour with you. I'm so grateful that we were able to make this work. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, have a great day, everyone. We're going to sign off for now. I hope you're enjoying the beautiful day, and let us know if you have any questions, if you want any more information, and we'll post some of the links down in the comments below. So have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.